Let's go back to each of you and what attracted you to get involved in Pure.
I can say the opportunity. And as ironic as this sounds, I had seen the call to action on LinkedIn and I said, okay, I'm not going to be able to do the 2 hours of recording. And then thankfully, Amanda reached out directly to me to ask. And I said, okay. And it reminded me of my past experience with disaster recovery that, all right, if somebody else sees enough in me to believe that I've got these abilities, then I need to believe in myself. And I had always had a very, very high opinion of you. I had followed you for years. I took your course during 2020 on the ACP, and it got me through a lot. I mean, that was a time when the recordings, I could walk around and I could listen. So I've always held a very high opinion for your educational style. And so once Amanda reached out, I was like, okay, if they're asking me directly, I can do this. I can put this hat on and I can do it.
I think you hit the nail on the head, though, something I know I've had in my career, and I've talked to other PMs and some of the people in our group, that it's often easy to succumb to that imposter syndrome where I'm not good enough. And you all have just a wealth of background and knowledge and things that are unique to your industry and what's worked from you. And that's why I think we have just an excellent group. It's not a bunch of guys like me that are talking all the time, that you all are, all of us are doing, and we're not following a script. It's real world and apply it. And yeah, Tanya, you easily have 2 hours of knowledge and more to share. We're happy that you're involved. Dr. Chambers, you and I have worked together, so I know I kind of strong-armed you into doing this.
Right.
But some of you others, why did you take the call to get involved?
Just to sort of extend on what you finished on there, Joe, I think the pragmatic spirit of what Pure is about is what really appealed to me. When I do coaching for other organizations, I often say to people, you need to put in the PMI cassette, or you need to put in the scrum.org cassette and think of it in that paradigm.
Right.
What I really like about what Pure is doing is there's no cassette or no sort of primer to add. It's very much about what's going to practically make a difference for you and increase your effectiveness in your day-to-day role, which was the bit that I found really appealing.
That's great. Well, Dave, I was trying to set you up there with the coaching because I know you have a lot of mentoring and coaching that you do. We'll come back to that. I have some other questions I want to ask you about. Clinton, why did you get involved? I know you and I have talked a bunch online, and you have a unique background. So what appealed to you?
Sure. So I haven't had the opportunity of doing a formal training like this. So the thought process, like Tanya, was somebody else thinks that I have the potential, and I really just need to step out there. And to be perfectly honest with you, once I started learning more about Pure and what your idea was with it, Joseph, it took off, it stood out, and it made complete sense, because some of the other certifications that are out there, it's all about the theory, which works. You need the information,
sure,
but you need to figure out how to get into the reality of it and know that Dave and I have actually been pinging this week. Just because there's one method that we say to do it, that's not necessarily the right method. We come across 3 different ways with what Dave and I were talking about this week, and it's not the right way. The right way is what works for you in your project and your client.
Right. That's so accurate. Yeah. It's, just like if you play golf or fishing or you're writing a book, there's multiple ways to get to the same result, but there's little nuances, and the the depth of experience that you have is how you distinguish which nuance is best. And that's one of the things that I think we get out of this group is we're bringing that real world to people to learn. And just imagine this ripple effect that we have on all of the folks that get involved. Let me go down to Jeremiah and put Jeremiah on the spot. Why did you get involved, Jeremiah?
Well, Joe, this is an opportunity for all of us to start from a place of experience to really help bridge that experience gap that we have in the project management industry right now. And a lot of it is theory, right? So if you go back to how do we actually learn? You've got, 70% is doing. 20% is learning from other people's experiences, watching people do it, and then 10% is that knowledge. And so what we're doing is we're really helping bridge that gap from the, hey, I did the thing, I got 10% of it, I watched it, and then, oh, now I've got these excellent leaders out there who are helping us, show us how they do this right now in the real world, and then they're going to immediately take action. And so I was like, wow, so now we have people, we can help people bridge that gap, take immediate action. And we're doing it with legends, people right now who have that experience, are out there to make a better world in the community. And why would anybody say no to that?
One thing that we've not talked a whole lot about in our group and really to the public at large, but in the program, we have private communities like mentoring and coaching where people can, it's basically you can leave a post or ask a question or offer advice. And we have this ability to have conversations or learn from one another, not necessarily individual to the teachers, but peer to peer. What works where you work, and here's a problem I'm having where I am. And it's in a private community that only people in the program are going to see that. So it's a great opportunity that we can learn from one another, and that people can coach each other just beyond what we have to offer. That people in the program can learn from each other. Let's go over to Ben Chan. Ben, why did you get involved in Pure? What do you like about it?
Sure. I mean, there's several reasons. One is I get to go and work with other amazing PMs here, be able to go and learn from all of you in how you're doing things, the methodologies there, and sharing those experiences. Two, it's also part of my mission as well, to share more of my experience and knowledge out to others. I've done that a lot on LinkedIn, and this just made sense to be able to go and impart, some of my knowledge in the creativity area with others and seeing how they could apply it. And three, I think it's already been said before I wish I had this when I was project managing, and having others be able to accelerate that learning curve, being able to help them deliver better and ultimately add more value into the world. I'm like, I can't say no to that.
Exactly. I agree.